I said,
I can't
you're
swallow
gonna have to
it.
delete it. Because even though they're my pictures, they won't let me access them. What the heck happened?
I hate that. So do I. Hey, how are you?
Anything new?
I just handed them out on Friday.
Oh, hi. How are you?
And I got So is Jeff okay?
So anyway,
Monday night.
I didn't have a
One's 26.
Oh, baby.
I'm sure. I'm coming home. It was going the other way.
And so, anyway,
I'm glad I'm getting home.
I shut it off for several hours, which is amazing how much work it was off. That's how I got stuff done when my kids were little. Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I just wondered,
She was just,
that's what I
Doris was
wanted
asking
to
me,
ask.
how did the new legal fund ever end up?
Oh, yeah, we have paid it
How are
off.
you? Happy birthday!
I mean, we picked up a big check of
I
it
wondered
too.
if
I wanna
you-
tell you, we paid about 45,000. But it was one of the investments. We saved hundreds of
Oh,
thousands.
that's,
Well, then thanks to donors.
she would be charged the last one.
We raised like 15, somewhere in there, don't quote me on it, but I
The
mean,
last I had looked into
a lot of
that was
people gave privately, which is great. My uncle take it.
I just didn't want you to hear also
No, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
but I was just looking at it, she said, I'm paying them. I said, I don't know, I haven't looked at that.
Hey, Mr. Clement, how are you? Didn't recognize you under your hat.
I know, sir, you never know. You never know. How you doing?
How you been?
Thank you
Did you put your application in? Sounds good.
I've been, I know her. Did I tell you I coach her dog?
Yeah.
So I've been wanting to winter train now. I haven't been able to see her. I want to go to a couple other trainings just to see how she's running. My wife
It's actually, we're just
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, but bigger than the horse's mouth. And I thought, the last time I checked, it was about 12.
Okay, good.
Because it had hung around there.
That was the job for the day, so hopefully they were just en route. But we did let them know to make sure they got that neighborhood case released.
Yeah. Thinking about it again.
We aim, please.
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah.
I put it off.
You do everything.
Sir, how are you? I'm good. You've got to see some good balls.
Cakes are good.
Oh, I know. You're probably breaking film now.
Yeah.
Good.
How you doing?
I knew somebody had shorts on. It was 30 today.
What's that?
I said, I knew somebody would have shorts on.
You did this morning. You are here every day.
Well, I told him when I was.
You threw me off this morning. I'm calling you out today.
Damn. Then I said, he said, do you have your shorts on yet? And I said, no.
You sit wherever you want.
My wife comes out to the driveway one time on stop with the phone and touching his phone. She said, no, just send me a picture of somebody snowboarding.
You know Jeff Garrett?
Funerals and church. Other than that, I just hate shorts.
They charge you.
We'll take it nice off, Rouge.
But you're getting a little bit hungry. Something, you know?
Because I know my goodness.
Oh, do you get donuts Monday mornings?
Absolute long
Is that before our meeting?
Once a month, it's after each meeting.
Oh,
Remind me, Cedar Lake, and they had a rule,
More meetings.
Memorial Day to Labor Day. Well, I would just keep wearing them.
Labor Day's every day, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess, I didn't think that. I was about, in the 5th year that my boss over here, his boss out of Pittsburgh, wants to go home his day, he goes, we do have a uniform dress code.
Yeah.
I said, okay. It was on January 16th, and I wrote that day down on a post-it, stuck on the visor, and he come back and he said on April 15th, you say they changed rules. You start wearing shorts as tax.
how's it going?
That's okay.
Cold.
Why do you write that on there?
It's slippery. The tripod doesn't like it.
That's one of the reasons I'm getting out as quick as I can.
It doesn't like it at all.
Oh, drove around truck for 22 years. I was cold for 18 years before that. Zimmerman? Yeah.
Yeah, but even in.
Then he was the service manager, and that before he went Acme, is it, I think?
Yeah.
Down Puxley? Yeah.
Did he go to
Well, for a while, yeah, he did work a little school. I talked to him,
On the subject and then we vote on
was it
it.
this winter or last winter? I can't remember, it's not been that long ago. Cause he dove on, that's why I took my school that group. And, he had taken a spark from, welding in the year. He can't dive any longer because,
Yeah, no, I need.
Mel was telling me that he had,
Which I'm going to.
that yes, that's just.
Wait, mine, is that count?
Everything else is
but
good.
he said the one time, Denny smoked for practice every day back in the day. And they raised tax, like, when 2 or 3 months there, they raised another 30%. He quit cold turkey, put on some weight, he says, they're not getting another tax dollar off of me.
Mel was telling me that he's thinking about it.
I kept asking, why would I?
He's having a couple of years.
Okay, well, that may be part of that, yeah.
I got a couple of things I wanna go over real quick and other than that.
Okay.
They were here.
I read this.
They were 10.
Okay.
Anyway, he's the ones who they locked that one out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Plus, I used to, when I, for Coca-Cola, I run down through, Benazet and that. You used to use people to get out of their car here and.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd be out there standing at, you know, right as you come in on that dog leg, there's that barn, there's a fence, and they have to change. There's one that was beautiful, and I'm thinking, this is not what time to go. My son was in the Air Force, so they beautiful Denali. I hate to
I
say
never tell you how old my daughter
and
is.
an Asian couple, I see them move. They jump out, run down into the pine trees, snap a picture. I didn't stop, but I kept going to the show, but I think 911 call.
You don't make them like.
They were not injured or anything at that point. But you know, they were not in the well, they were purple.
I know the cell phone every year. That's something.
They said, the whole because they want to, and a cow loose in the spring, and they have cows that stop because they get kicked. So both sides have bad. They said, not 10. Walked down to the park where humpback had died, and rolled up on the beach, and walked down each side. And way back up this back down. We had a walkway, about 9 foot wide, like a walkway. One kind of curved up around. And we come on the curve, and there's an elder standing on this side with his foot like this far from the entire path. You're gonna see me every week. On this side, it was a thick, it was just a table. We got the new stock. It was my son and I, my daughter-in-law, my wife, and 3 grandkids or so. It's like, after about, I thought it was probably about a minute or a minute and a half, my son says, I don't think it's gonna do anything. So we all like, it was like a quick walk. We're good to go. So it's something it became David He's been the manager of
It'll be a test at the end. I will. I'll send you the
Okay. I've got around. I'm sure you did.
Oh, yes. Everyone is good?
We have an office supposedly that I've never been invited to. So, yeah, apparently I'm down there and doing work with mentioned.
There we go.
Hey, how are ya?
Not too bad, how are you?
Good.
So we're not saving this seat anymore. That's what she said. Note to self. Note to self.
Decades. Not just years, decades. Hey, how are you? Oh, don't worry. You're not
Over here. I'm 43. I'm not doing what I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm waiting.
I have a comment, but I'll keep it to myself.
Yeah, right come tonight.
I mean, I have my karaoke nights at Ray. You know, it flashes.
I have a megaphone. She doesn't. That's a landing. Nice way to put it. Keep it under the table in case we do. That was very good.
Done already here.
All right.
Hang it in there. I told him, I said, might shock me to know that the house is doing
Bring your own chair. This one used to say Oklahoma on it, but I wiped it off after Bob had me weld them, and then he didn't want to put it out for general use. Thursday, he said take it home because we can't go to the public. It's Wednesday. It's 20 years. It's Wednesday. Okay. I was just making sure. We were told the 24th, and I saw you post. I posted that.
What time you coming down?
Your council in 5 minutes.
Enough to get through tonight.
Did you get a new microphone? Did you get a new microphone?
No, that's a battery pack.
Oh, that's a battery.
Yeah, the camera's designed only to work for 30 minutes at a time on its own battery, but that thing could go 4 hours.
I should show you my rig sometime. I never throw anything away. And people in the family were on IVs over the years, and they give you these IV stands, throwaways. I turned them all into cameras.
Nice.
Machine the end. Boy, they're lightweight. You lose it. Somebody wants to see. Jennifer wants to hit me over the head.
Scott says
Roller and make them.
Not much stuff.
That's all you know. We were able to help.
I'd like to.
I fixed it, Tristan.
Okay, I just want to make sure when you're at. That's how I posted. I was like, I told the 24th like last week, but I had to double check myself.
I get dates wrong all the time. I got too much going on. You know we got another dog. Thomas. He's a crazy dog. And Jen's carrying her office right now. No, it's not like the wallpaper.
Right, yes.
For the most
I
part.
don't think, I knew we were.
Chris, can you answer this?
Because it makes us take them out. It said, do not send me any other dogs. What's that? They're all rescue mixes. The one's a lab dachshund, so it's like a lab body with really short legs. This new one's supposed to be a mini Australian Shepherd, but I'm not.
I actually look at it, Chris. And I highlight it.
He's got real long legs. He's only like 15 pounds. Yeah, Molly. They're all like 80 pounds.
Could you ever mix a lab and a dog?
I'm not quite sure. We asked that. I think it was artificial. Or maybe a really big dachshund.
Big stuff.
Yeah, send it to me, that'd be fine. Think of your questions. There was a question we don't know.
I'm not your problem.
That's why I don't know. That's tonight.
Observe it.
That's
I said, well, that's what I had. Yeah.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comments on agenda items only, please. State your name and your address.
Okay, my name is Linda London and 527 Hamburger Avenue. My questions and concerns are related to number 16 on tonight's agenda, elected officials' health care. First, has it been determined whether or not providing health care to elected officials is legal or not? If it is not legal, what actions are planned for past illegal misusage as well as future implementation? Next, what year did providing elected officials, which would include but may not be limited to the council and mayor, begin? And by what recommendation and vote did this happen? Next, when this practice was to be implemented, was there a public vote for this benefit to be provided to elected officials? And was there a date when coverage would cease, such as when the person's term ended, or was this benefit to be provided forever to those elected officials? In other words, are any past elected officials currently receiving health care benefits? I feel quite certain that most taxpayers in our city are unaware of the health care benefit and perhaps other bonuses that elected officials may have received. Health care is a big ticket item. Many people don't have health care benefits at all, and perhaps if they knew that up until this point, they could have received health care in addition to the monetary stipend, perhaps there would have been more candidates in the past running for elected offices in DuBois.
Thank you.
I'm willing to answer those.
We
Want to answer
discussed
those at the
this,
end?
yep, was 16.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, 16.
When we get,
Thank you.
Thank you.
anything else on agenda items? Yes, go ahead, please.
Debbie Meckling, Monroe Street. I'm referencing item number 20 about executive sessions. I'm not quite sure what the procedure, how it all goes. So some of my questions were, who is present during the executive sessions? Are minutes of the executive sessions recorded? Were minutes of past executive sessions recorded? And are all topics that are discussed during executive sessions presented at the council meetings? Thank you.
We'll talk about that when we get to 20.
Okay, thank you.
One second.
Josh will take that. Josh will take that.
That one? Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
Kathleen Clement, Chestnut Avenue, DuBois. I'm just a question along number 16. If it's deemed that the health insurance, it's illegal, it shouldn't have been, will the taxpayers be reimbursed for those fees?
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So on to number 4, approval of the minutes. January 2nd, reorganization minutes. Motion approved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Augenbaum.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gilpin.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Friesinger.
Yes. Council meetings from January 8th.
Make a motion to approve January 8th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Augenbaum.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gilpin.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Friesinger.
Yes. Register of invoices. We'll start off with the auto drafts.
Make a motion to approve the auto draft amount, the amount of $17,850.75.
Make a motion, we approve the general fund, $308,464.69.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Augenbaum.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gilpin.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Friesinger.
Yes. Penvest.
I make a motion, we approve Penvest, $3,448,271.81.
Second that motion?
Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Augenbaum.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gilpin.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Friesinger.
Yes. DuBois Little League 2024 update.
Yeah, we've got Scott Frano with us tonight. Give us an update on what Little League's up to for 2024.
Well, first of all, thanks for having us tonight. So, we have a couple of our board members with us, Amanda and Angela. Won't be very long, probably about an hour, guys. So there'll be a bathroom break, and there will be a test.
Go ahead.
Bring treats? We brought treats. No notes? No, I don't need them. First question I have, I just have two quick questions, to be honest with you. If anybody doesn't know, the DuBois Little League Way Memorial Field, the one you see from the boulevard, that's still under a lease program and agreement with the city of DuBois. It's a 99-year lease. Not sure exactly where we're at with that. We're celebrating our 75th anniversary this year, so I'm assuming we're 24, 25 years left, I'm assuming. But And we have full maintenance of that field, anything that goes along with it, whether it be lights, the facilities itself, concessions, everything, all us. The T-ball field is not under our jurisdiction, I don't believe. I think it's still under the city of DuBois' umbrella. And that's fine because we do most of the maintenance on that. We've gotten help from the city in the past, whether it be from dirt and different things and equipment. But it's getting to the point now where it's getting pretty bad. And there was some talk over the last couple of years of that field becoming something different. And that's fine, it's the cities and that's no problem whatsoever. But I guess I want to stress to the committee that that's our number one amount of kids that play. We are upwards of 680 kids in the DuBois Little League. Over 250 at least go to that division from 5 to 8. That's the T-ball field. Coach pitch and T-ball. Logistically, it's in a perfect spot. It's right there for the kids. If they have an older kid that plays for Little League or a T-ball kid, they can go from back and forth and do the concessions and do the things and watch both games at once. Easy. So my question, a couple things on that is, if there's something happening in the future, and there's no magic ball here to be able to say what's happening, but we just want to make sure that everybody understands that the importance of that field for the DuBois Little League. Maintenance on it, we will continue to do that, but there is some issues that has to happen to that field. The fencing is going bad. The scoreboard that was graciously given to that field from the city, from the senior league field, which is now Stern, I believe. So that's how that worked. I think that came from that. It's still having troubles working back and forth. It could be wiring underneath. Could be the field not the sign not recognizing the scoreboard area, whatever it may be. Something needs to be done there. The press box is in need. We have no problem as a DuBois Little League, and these girls can accept this too. We have no problem with investing money into that, but we don't want to do it. It's the kids' money. I don't want that to sound cheesy, but that's how we believe it. And if we're going to invest that money into it, we want to make sure it's done for the right thing, and it's there for a while too. But if there's plans down the road, and there's no need to answer that tonight because nobody knows, but just keep in mind of logistically what we feel about that field. That's all we ask you to.
And Scott, I think it's important for you guys to know that the Little League International, starting next year, has League of Choice. So from age 5 to 7, you can enroll your child in any Little League program anywhere you want. So it's not bound by the address anymore. So next year, I look for DuBois to see a much larger increase in T-ball registration. Because if they start at 5 and play through nonstop, they are part of DuBois Little League all through their senior league division. So we do look for our league to grow substantially starting next year, and that T-ball field is where it all starts.
So, and the second thing I have is a better thing, what I just talked a little bit about earlier. We are celebrating our 75th anniversary this summer. I asked it's going to be a community event. We're going to do it during the regular season, so it isn't an all-star event. It's focused towards every kid in that that goes down to that park. We're going to have hopefully be having a food giveaway. We're going to have different things. We're in just the midst of creating a little bit of a board to do that in a committee. And 75 years is a lot of years. And it's all about DuBois too. So we want to make sure that DuBois is involved in that 100%, any capacity that you believe you need to be or want to be. And we appreciate anything and everything. We've had a really busy summer coming down there this year, and we're really excited about it. So that's it. That's all I got. Any questions?
I have a granddaughter that played.
Sure, I know.
T-ball.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people are in that park.
Yeah.
Had to be 1,000 or I don't know how many exactly, but there was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
A lot of parents, and they were really, really good to her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was very
Well, we
happy, very
appreciate
grateful.
that, and we try to make sure that we got a lot of good help over there.
Yeah.
Takes a village.
And I don't get to make it to the meetings a lot, but I am the VP of the Challenger Division. And I'm not sure everyone realizes that Challenger is Little League. Challenger Baseball is a division of DuBois Little League. Without their support, we couldn't do it. But I need to stress that I implore you to find an activity or an organization in this city that involves more members of the community at the same time. I have athletes ranging from age 5 to 63 last year, and we had over 100 participants. We've had banks, hospitals, business owners, fire departments, church groups, all come to volunteer with our special needs athletes. Baseball teams that come in that play for the Junior League World Series, Senior League States, PBR, they come and participate with our athletes as well and create a very good relationship that we keep in touch with them. So we're looking to push our season back a little bit this year. So if you're used to finding us in April, come in May. We're going to play a little longer into the summer because the field has a little bit more availability during that time. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and a couple Wednesdays, we'd love anyone and everyone to come over and check out our very, very special athletes that are on that field.
I'll add into the t-ball field. Growing up, we didn't have that t-ball field, and we played all games on the Little League field. So having that, we're able to play more t-ball, coach pitch, machine pitch with the t-ball field, and use the Little League field more as well, have as many games. So.
Okay.
Do you have a date in mind for the 75th? Are you still
we're
working on that?
We're still working on it.
Yeah, we believe we're trying sometime in the first week in June, somewhere around in there. But I actually want to sit down with you guys too to make sure that works among community days and everything along with it too. So however that works out. But we do have a date for the Eastern Regional Tournament, which is July 20th through the 27th. That's when, all the big guns come into DuBois for us. So that's it. That's all I have.
I'll reach out to you. Thanks for coming, Scott.
Thank you.
Scott Fair and I'll get a hold of you and maybe we'll meet over there in better weather and see what needs done at the t-ball field.
Even if it's in need of equipment, we can use equipment and something to move some stuff around and better out. But again, we have no problem with investing into it. We feel that's some of our part too, and we want to do our part, but we want to make sure it's the right business move for us and for everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Water and sewage project update from HRG.
We have Jeff Garrigan from HRG here to give us an update, introduce himself to new council, and then let us know what's going on with some of our water and sewer projects.
Thanks, Chris. My name is Jeff Garrigan. I'm with HRG. Believe it or not, I asked Chris if I could attend these meetings on a monthly basis, so he obliged that. So you'll see me here on a monthly basis, just to get a face to HRG and answer any specific questions related to any of the projects that we're involved with for you guys. I work really closely with Chris on all the projects that we're executing for you. He knows as much as I do on all the projects. He listed a few that we're involved with right now. I don't want to go through these in any great level of detail. Obviously, the large project is the wastewater treatment plant. We're about 50% complete with construction on that, shooting for an end of 2024 completion date. I think some of you might have taken a tour of that, but I'm open for another tour, maybe when the weather gets nicer, probably farther along, can show you some buildings, explain the process if anybody's interested, so keep that on your mind. The other two is the Washington Avenue water line. I just talked to Chris about schedules there. We'll probably be preliminarily looking to go out to bid here in February with a March opening with an April construction complete. That's kind of preliminary. Those dates will be formed later, but that's kind of what we're looking for. The last one I'll just update is the water treatment plant flocculator replacement. That was that construction was completed actually last week. They got the second flocculator in. We started it up. Things were going well, but I got an email from Scott today that something happened to the flocculator, so the contractor was notified and will be coming back. Other than that, I don't have anything else to update unless there were any specific questions about anything, but I appreciate you guys having me here, and again, I'll be here on a monthly basis to answer any specific questions.
Thanks.
What's the flocculator?
It's a clarifier in your water treatment plant.
Okay.
It's paddles that move really slow to form flock to make the sediment drop out.
Okay.
That's a quick, dirty analysis.
Sounds cool. That's more than minutes ago.
You didn't know that?
Well, Scott gave us a tour, and it's very interesting, both plants, very interesting.
Donation to the Canine Fund.
Yeah, we'll let Chief Clark introduce this one. I believe he's got a donation for us?
This is Officer Reds. I'll let him introduce. This is Auto Undertaker, the towing company. Every year he donates to the K9 Fund, which is very much appreciated, and it goes a long way. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to thank them and every member of the community who's ever donated to keep our K9 Fund up and keep the program running. Without people being so gracious, we may not have this valuable resource that we utilize in the city and anywhere that we don't follow. So it really means a lot to me because I'm very passionate about it. So hopefully we can keep the program running for years to come. So thank you very much.
Mike and I would just like to say on behalf of our business and our family, we've been raising a family in DuBois for 15 years now. I'm a transplant, but he's, this has been his area his whole life, and we've watched these guys train, and it is nothing short of a labor of love. And the numbers speak for themselves. 7, 10, and 14-year-olds are all terrifying to raise, and that's what we're in the midst of. But I can sincerely say, and I think Mike probably agrees with me, that this makes such a huge, huge impact. Like we've seen what goes into it. We know that it's not just like a flippant hobby, like, hey, I'm gonna go raise a canine. Like Zane works, and his counterparts in other areas work, and it's just really something to see. And we are more than happy to continue to support it as much as we possibly can for as long as we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Denny, you're up. Denny Scrubba.
Yes, I came down to speak to you once again. I was here at the second meeting in August and presented the Music Fest for In the Concert on Thursday nights for the summer of 2024. And I kind of mentioned that I would like to get started on the entertainment in November, December, but possibly January, because I knew there were a lot of things going on. So I really haven't heard anything. I've had some people calling me, and I just came to the meeting tonight to see if you wanted me to head it again, once again, and where to go from here. And also, maybe mention to you, I think it's been something in the past, and I don't know whether this could be solved or not. I've been lucky with a lot of the groups that, if we got rained out, it didn't cost us anything. And, but depending on who you get, sometimes, if it rains, I have to pay them anyhow. And I wish there was some way we could figure out some place that we could have these concerts, if the weather wasn't suitable. If not, we'll just keep on going the way we are. So I'll just be waiting to hear from you what to do from here. Okay, thank you.
And if you could give me a shout, we did get you in the budget for the amount you requested in August. We can sit down, go over a schedule, and then see if we can identify an alternate location for rain dates.
Okay, sounds good.
But we'd appreciate to have you back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kenny, Parkside Community Center. I don't know how many people, we pulled 100, maybe more, but it'd be available, we're right across the.
Okay.
Thank you. Approval of fire department to lend reserve engine to Reynoldsville. Mike, got a little.
Yeah, the Reynoldsville Fire Chief reached out to me here a few weeks ago, and their main engine was going out of service for a few months. It's getting refurbished, and they asked if they could borrow one of ours. We do a lot of mutual aid with them. We have a good working relationship with them, and it helped their community out just as much as it would ours. If you guys would be okay with that, I'll let him know, and if we need any, I'm sure they'll insure it on their own. We've lent out an engine before. It's been a while, but I wasn't involved in it, so I'm not sure exactly what took place. But like maybe a whole harmless agreement or something to that effect. But
You thinking 2 or 3 months, or how long are you thinking?
3 to 4.
We gonna need maintenance in between there?
Shouldn't. No.
Okay. Because I know our fire trucks are very, very well maintained. We want to keep that.
Yep.
Okay.
It's one of our reserve engines. It's not going to compromise the city. So I'd like approval, if we could, from council to do that.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike.
Before you say, I would like to apologize to the fire department. I'm glad they're here tonight. I just want to clarify, if something is on the agenda, it doesn't mean we're making a decision. There's just new procedures and processes starting this year where things may have been done a certain way in the past, or things were done at executive session and decisions were made. It's not going to be that way any longer. We need to make sure we are dotting our I's and crossing our T's, especially legally. So things that were done in the past aren't going to be done any longer. And the fact that you're on the agenda doesn't mean we're making a decision. We just need to talk publicly about it now, where in the past, things were done behind closed doors. It's not going to be that way any longer. So we have a lot to learn. I did reach out to all of the fire departments. I just haven't been able to touch base with Josh. He did return my call, and I know Pat, Elliott, and myself are going to be visiting them all within the next month or so. We're scheduled. So I just want to apologize that there was no ill intent at all meant with them being on the agenda. That's it.
Yeah, most of the items you see now are in the past. Even some things were brought up and added to the agenda and voted on. I had like 5 minutes to think about it, okay? We don't plan on doing that. We plan on giving, if we have something that's of importance, we're gonna bring it up, we're gonna put it on the website, everybody can read it, come back the next meeting, ask all the questions you wanna ask. We might not even vote on it then, we might wait again. We might be moving a little bit slower, but everybody should have a chance to really look at things and ask questions. If you've noticed, there's a lot of stuff on the website now, an awful lot of stuff, okay? And if anybody ever has a question, just call me and ask me. We're good on that, okay?
Thank you, Pat.
Reappointment of Jean Cole and Danielle Bojella to the library board.
Yep, this motion, we reappoint Jean Cole back to the library board. Do them one at a time.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Recommendations to,
He just did Gene Cole, get Danielle.
oh, I'm sorry, I thought they did them together.
No, just one at a time.
Okay.
I think for clarification.
Yes, that's fine. Yep.
Make a motion to accept Danielle Bojella to the library board.
Second that. I'll second that motion.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Recommendation to appoint Eric McCoy, Robert Idings, and Teddy Clark to the watershed committee.
I just have a question on this, and it's just for clarification purposes, is how is this put out publicly? Because as I said, I want to make sure that we're putting everything out in the open. Anything to committees, is this put out to the public? I know Teddy Clark, that's the only one, and not that these aren't the best recommendations. I just want to make sure that we're putting this out to the public to know that there may be somebody else that would be interested in it, is all I'm asking on the recommendation.
We did not advertise for this position. It was a recommendation from the last watershed committee meeting.
You want to table it and
I
offer it?
I wouldn't mind tabling it and just offering it out to the public at this point to see if there is anybody. And if there's not, I don't have a problem with any of them, but
sure,
just to put it out there.
Scott, could you tell us a little bit about the watershed committee?
Basically, it's been around for quite a while, and a bunch of good people on it. You had Ed Kane in here, Ted Kane, I mean. He gave you a rundown here about a month ago on everything. We meet quarterly. It's basically a bunch of outdoorsmen that know a lot about trees. They're out in that area a lot and do a lot of stuff out there. They care about the woods. and the watershed itself. That's bare basics on that.
And kind of manage the forest.
Manage the forest. We meet Ken Kane's at all of our meetings. We talk about the future, what we can do, and it's all best practices for the watershed.
Yeah.
Ken will be here at our next meeting to give an update on forest management as well.
And these would all three be new members?
They would all be new members. All names were all brought up by the watershed committees that it's either reached out to a member or somebody that's been interested in it and wanting to do it.
For now, we're gonna table that. Do we need a motion to table it, though? Okay. We're gonna table that and offer that position to anybody in the public that wants to, participate. Send a letter of intent to Chris. Letter of interest to Chris, and we'll go from there, okay?
Yep.
So that'll be on next 2 weeks, okay? Compensation ordinance.
So I just wanted to pass out to everybody here a draft of the compensation ordinance for 2024. If you all could review that, give me your recommendations, we'll bring it back here and then have the first public discussion on that. And then we'll post it to the website, have the second reading, and then it will become an ordinance. So we're a few steps away, but just wanted to give you the draft to make sure we're all heading in the right direction.
So that's kind of an example of how things are going to be. He pretty much gave the information to us. We'll get back to him once those, some of those things are hashed out. It'll go up on the website, everybody will be able to get to read it, look at it, come back and ask us questions before we vote on it, okay?
Was there a compensation ordinance?
What a question.
Was there one before?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. So just clarifying.
RFP for city solicitor.
Yeah, a couple meetings ago, we appointed an interim solicitor. Last meeting, I gave you a draft of the RFP for the solicitors. I got a bunch of comments on it, recirculated that out. I think we have it in a good place, so I'm going to go ahead and send that out for responses by April 1st, 2024. Just wanted to keep everybody updated on the progress of that.
Request authorization to purchase equipment. $46,351.12 for mowers.
Yep, this is 9 mowers, Cub Cadet mowers, through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract 031121 MTD. Everything is good to go on that. We held that one back a week till we could get the all the official documentations in place. I could have the recommendation on that, and that maintains the park, the water plant, and the sewer plant, and the flood control project. Walkway. Yep.
They mow a lot of grass. Go down the walkway and just think about those banks that they cut. And there's a lot of grass in the city.
9 mowers.
Stuff. Yeah, 9 mowers, and they work.
Motion to approve. Second.
Properly moved and second. I have one little comment. And these are done through a cooperative purchase. So we know that we're getting the best price. The state negotiates those prices, and we get to piggyback on those. So we're getting good prices on them.
So no negotiating, they're publicly bid.
Yes.
No, we don't have, yeah.
But I mean, the state doesn't negotiate them, it's publicly bid.
Yes, okay. Properly moved and second. Question on a motion? Vote on a motion.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Elected officials' health care.
Yeah, we had an opinion from our solicitor after last meeting that the health care was not instituted by an ordinance prior to the election of the officials. Therefore, it was his recommendation that we would terminate health care insurance to elected officials immediately. And if we want to proceed with health care for elected officials in the future, it will be ordinance prior to the next primary vote.
You can't vote yourself a benefit. You can only vote the next elected official's benefits. So even if we were to do anything, it wouldn't be for us, it would be for the next council. Right? To answer some of your questions, do you have those written down?
It started in 2015. We answered the legal 2015, and there was no vote. So Hopefully that answered your question.
It was just something that somebody gave to everybody.
Not everybody. Shannon didn't have it.
Okay.
Yep.
And did it terminate when their term of office was done?
Yes.
Yes.
And the reimbursement, I'll give you my opinion. I think that's something where,
I talked to, my name's
Yes.
Josh Brown, by the way,
Yes.
I'm with the law firm Dillon McCandless. I work with Tom Brett. Mr. Brett is unavailable tonight. That is an issue that we've not specifically researched yet. If the board instructs us to do so, we will research that issue. But we're not in a position to state today whether disgorgement or other actions they have taken.
And there was no council vote on that. Okay. Answer all of them? I know.
I think so,
I feel the same way.
Yes.
yes. Yeah, Pat Elliott and myself do not have it.
Does anybody now know?
We have to ask those
So-
other members.
Did you guys want to vote on whether you want to keep health insurance for elected officials or not?
Yeah. I'll make the motion that we terminate the health care for council,
Elected officials.
elected officials.
Second.
Properly moved second. Questions on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Augenbaum.
Abstain.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Did you want Tom to look into the other issue?
Yes.
Need a motion for Tom to do that.
I'd like to make the motion for the interim solicitor to look into reimbursement for the health care.
Second.
Properly moved second. Question on the motion. Vote on the motion.
Augenbaum.
Abstain.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Abstain.
Reesinger.
Yes. There's going to be a position open in redevelopment. It's a fairly easy gig. It's important.
It's important.
There's no health care and no pay. You do get lunch, okay? We do get lunch. It's maybe 2 hours a month. We do projects like the cosmetology school, okay? We kind of took that over. We kind of purchased it in a way, and we recently sold it to somebody for $1 because of the plan that they presented. So we did that. So that puts that back on the tax rolls. Same thing with Tommy D's. That's going to be put back on the tax rolls. So you do things like that. They own a building that they rent, and it's pretty easy. So anybody interested, write a letter of interest to Chris. Okay.
Who purchased the cosmetology building, can you say?
Is it complete yet, Joe?
The cell's not complete yet,
Oh.
so can't we?
Good, because I didn't know the answer. I did read it, but then I forgot it.
I know the name, but
Yeah.
due to the,
Now, the Tommy D's was sold,
yes.
and it's closed. You want to tell us a little bit about, Joe's the director of redevelopment.
The individuals that purchased the Tommy D's building did pay us what we had into the building when they purchased it. They plan on renovating it and turning it into either storefronts or office space. They weren't sure, whatever they could find in their market research, what their niche would be. But they are other landowners within DuBois. They have a good reputation. We work closely with our code enforcement to make sure the people that we're selling these buildings to have the ability and have the means to be able to keep them up, fix them, and are in good standing within the city.
Yeah, and redevelopment gives them 6 months to start,
Yeah.
and depending on the project, like 2 years to finish. And if they don't, we take the building back. So we monitor that. So anybody, like I said, interest, get a letter of interest to Chris. Yes, sir.
Redevelopment requires citizenship in the city?
Yes, presently, yes.
I'd like to make the motion that we accept the resignation of Pat Reesinger on the redevelopment authority.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? I was there for 24 years. So I really enjoy it. I'm going to miss it. And miss it a lot.
Thank you for your time.
Vote on the motion.
Augenbaum.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
I'm
Reesinger.
going to abstain. I'm going to say no. Robinson Street parking.
Yeah, that was on, last time we had discussed moving the dates. Since that time, I went up and checked it out. Chief Clark went up and checked it out. We believe, we know the rest of the street does not have parking. It's a pretty narrow street, or does not have parking restrictions. We're proposing that we don't have any parking restrictions for this block as well. So if we can modify the ordinance so there's no parking restrictions, I'll bring that back for the next meeting.
That's from Long over to, West Long over to.
Along the Howard.
Along the Howard, okay.
Yeah, from Howard down to Quarry, it's already unrestricted.
Okay.
Motion on that?
You need a motion, or we just need to wait for the
Yep,
order?
if you could, let me get approval to do that.
Motion to approve? Second?
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Augenbaum.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. I want to make one quick statement about Mr. Simplizio. It's a process. He's, do you want to explain the process a little bit?
Which process?
Terminating him.
Oh, okay. As far as terminating, I know I've talked to Mr. Breth about that. And we want to make sure that we're crossing all of our T's and dotting all of our I's before we take specific actions. Speaking with Mr. Breth, I believe that we need to perform some additional research before we make a firm recommendation on that matter.
Okay. Go ahead. Public comments? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Bill Jones on Chestnut Avenue. We listened to all these issues that we've had over the last year, and something that I feel that I've come across, and other people I'm sure have realized it, but the optional third-class city code is part of the big culprit in this issue. Unrestricted changes and modifications and ordinances and payoffs and so forth. And I don't know who the might be on your committee to merge with the township, but perhaps this committee can consider or get into this works that we eliminate the optional code, third-class code, and go with the third-class city code, which provides penalties for malfeasance. It provides options for giving elected officials benefits or what have you. It's spelled out in much greater detail. It's a difference between a 14-page document and a 600-page document. And I mean, it was probably written by lawyers. I can't. Yeah, no.
Paid by the words.
Yeah, they're paid by the words. So, you know, this might help solve some things in the future. It might prevent some things in the future. But just sitting here and listening to all this stuff for the last couple of years, I just make that suggestion. I know there's a couple township supervisors standing back here that, you know, they might have a different outlook on that. But I feel the optional third-class code is a noose just waiting for somebody to walk into, and I think that the future city area should consider not using it, but go with the regular, the third-class city code as amended in 1951, I believe, was the date that they adopted it. So it's just my opinion.
So this was discussed when we first started the consolidation after the vote. The ballot initiative was specifically for the optional third-class city code. So consolidation will be for the optional third-class city code. The new council can then decide if they want to do home rule or change it to third class, but the initial formation has to be the optional third-class city code.
I see. Oh, well, thank you for answering that.
Unfortunately, we're stuck with the vote.
We're stuck with it. Okay.
Maybe a poor choice of words.
No.
Go ahead. Debbie Meckling, Monroe Street. I was just curious, what would the cost have been per person monthly for the termination of the health care for the council members?
If we would have had it the same as this year as last year, we saved $62,000.
So that's,
That was for five,
that was for five
Last year there was
members,
5 people on it.
and that was for the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
thank
about
you.
$1,000.
About 670 monthly premium for.
Yeah, but there's also the $250, the deductible.
I'm just talking about the premium.
The premium, yeah.
The no pay.
Yeah, there was a little more cost.
Yeah.
That was my math.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Charlie Meckling, Monroe Street. I just have a question. Every time we come to these meetings and we talk about the payments for the auto draft, the general fund, and invest, all I know is those words. Can I get some examples of what those are paying so I can understand where that money's going?
Sure. Auto draft is things like, it takes us a while to pay a bill. I misstate. It takes us a while to pay a bill. Bill comes in, we do it, then it has to come to a meeting to vote. We were having some problems with like electric companies. Daleen, who else is on?
Gas company.
Gas companies.
No.
Yeah, and they're on the website, and you can look and see
Okay.
who the auto drafts are.
Yes.
The electric's on their phones, on their copier lease, internet fax.
Things that regularly we would pay anyway, so that's
Internet.
part of that. They're paid,
It's services already used, so we're not paying something ahead of time, it's services we've already used. So whether they approve of it or not, we have to pay it, we've already used the service.
It's like when you get your electric bill.
Right.
You just have to pay it.
yeah, so we just automatically pay, pretty much automatically pay that, right?
Yes.
It's not just something comes in and we pay it through ACH, it's just normal monthly payments that we can't control.
And the general fund is pretty much everything else.
All operational costs and construction costs with the exception of Penvest.
It's a sewage treatment plant.
Sewer treatment plant only.
That's the big bills every month.
So these, all the bills now, if you go online for the agenda, you'll see the agenda column, the registry of invoices, and the minutes. They're all lined up for every meeting now.
Every bill is there.
And to let you know, I go through these and highlight, and I either ask Daleen, I talk to Pat and Elliot and Chris answers any question, because I go through them and highlight, like, does this mean, or just so I'm informed as to what I'm voting on.
I do the same thing. I had a couple questions this morning for Chris about some things that were on there.
Okay, good, thank you. And I asked Daleen too, if I have any questions on anything, not a lot changes every month when I'm signing checks. It's like all of us, we get our monthly bills and we pay them out. If I have a question on the price, why it went up or whatever, I ask Daleen, get an answer, I'm happy with it, and I'll sign the check. If I'm not, I don't sign it. And then Chris calls me.
We're gonna pay this.
We're gonna pay this.
Anybody else? Questions? We'll let Mom go first.
We'll go Mom first.
Go ahead.
Always. Kathleen Clement, Chestnut Avenue. I have a question about snow removal in the city on Long Avenue. We lost 4 parking places this whole week because the snow was plowed, that just plowed in the ends of the parking spots. So no one could park there. And the snow, does it have to be 3 feet high, 4 feet high, 5 feet high for the city to remove it? You can't get from your car, you can't get close to the curb because there's so much snow. So is there a height on when the city's going to remove the snow? Because parking isn't a premium anyhow, you know that's such a, but we lost 4 parking places on Long Avenue, and I'm sure, East Long and West Long. The snow is still there.
Yep, the emergency routes we do as it snows, and then we go back when we have availability. Mr. Kurtz noted some neighborhoods the other day. We get them as soon as we can, but it is difficult to keep up. So if it snows over the weekend, we'll do the emergency routes. The next, we have to go through and get all of the alleys after that, and then we go through and clean up the piles of snow
The downtown.
as best as we
It's like
can.
downtown, like we were abandoned. I'm just saying, it looks terrible. We want people to come down, we want them to spend money, we want them to, but you can't get in. into town.
We'll get there as soon as we can.
Can I make a comment about snow shoveling?
Go ahead.
I would appreciate if, Bill Jones again, you send out another friendly reminder, just coming down Scribner tonight. A woman was walking her dog on Scribner Avenue right down here because the business in the 10 block of Scribner, East Scribner, doesn't have their doesn't have their sidewalk shoveled. And I don't know if the gas station business realizes, but that's their sidewalk. It's their parking and their sidewalk right there. And that poor lady was walking on the street and she didn't have a reflective collar on her dog. I might have nailed him. Sorry.
How many letters you sent out today?
47.
47. He was out, Zach was out running around seeing who didn't shovel their walk and sent out, because of the special circumstances, didn't really give out many tickets. He sent a bunch of letters out just to remind people to keep their walks clear.
Just a reminder, that's.
Yeah.
That was a point of emphasis at our meeting this morning.
Yeah, we talked about that this morning. Yep. Any other, oh yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, Mayor, I just want to say thank you for your resignation. I know that you served for 24 years and we do appreciate your service to it. But it just feels like we have a lot of conflicts of interest and you were willing to step up and end it. And so we just appreciate it.
Yeah, once I knew.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sam.
Yes, Sam Olick, I'm Sandy Township Supervisor. I just want to remind everyone, Wednesday night we voted to meet with the council and we'll be having a sort of a reorganization meeting on Wednesday to just get the process started, and we're excited to get this finished in time for next year's election. People will be starting to run next year, so we're excited about that. And also, I apologize that I put the wrong thing on the ballot. I would have had some actual legal advice.
What's the location that's needed?
That
Reorganization's gonna be here.
Here, 6 o'clock Wednesday night, right here. It's a public meeting.
Yep.
Will there be more chairs available?
Will there be more chairs available? We'll see if we can find, we'll be able to get some from Sam.
I have 2 bleachers.
Anybody else?
Is there a possibility of moving the meeting?
I don't think this meeting, maybe for the next time.
They kind of went by how many people showed up at the township's meeting that they had at Oklahoma Fire Hall. It's kind of figured that that's about the interest we would receive.
That's about half of this room will fill. And you were there.
Yeah, a lot of them were against.
Yeah, there was.
And we did talk about it and kind of, if it isn't, next time we'll put it in a bigger place. Do you want to answer her questions about executive session? You want to ask those again, please?
Thank you, Pat. Kristen Vida, DuBois. Just a quick question. Do you think it's possible, I know people are joining in remotely, viewing the meetings online. Is there a way that they can participate, that they can ask questions remotely? It's just putting it out there.
The township uses a phone that people can call in on and comment. I mean, I'm sure Sam and Mark back there can tell you about that.
You can talk to Matt. Yeah, we'll talk to our computer IT guy, see what we can do.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
In the line of that, I've had.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Earlier, I make sure I get your question right. There's a question about executive sessions versus city council session here. So an executive session is a session with an attorney, so it's subject to attorney-client privilege. But as far as decisions being made, those decisions should be made out here. The purpose of the executive session is to discuss, to get advice, and so that would all be protected by attorney-client privilege. And that would not only be the case here, but in cities across the United States.
So are there minutes taken?
No. No, and if there were, they would be protected by attorney-client privilege, but I do not believe there are.
Can I say this real quick? In our first executive session, we were asking some questions and Tom was like, that would be perfect for a public meeting. So, you know, he would cut us off, you know, we were, you know, not permitted. So it's running by the book now, rest assured.
Thank you.
I'll say that one example was the elected officials' healthcare. We were given a legal opinion. No decisions were made. We brought it here and had the discussion and decision made in public.
I have a question. Elected officials, does that mean like the treasurer? Is it not just city council? Is it like other elected officials in the city?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's right. Just
Yeah,
checking.
there's 6 elected officials. 7.
5 council control.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You're elected.
And no one in the
Hey,
cast.
you make $1,200 a year now.
I know.
You're welcome. I read the book that says you have to make as much as she does.
We do.
And cast officials are not receiving
No.
health care.
No.
Correct.
And I did have, along Kristen's thought, I have had some complaints from friends that have stopped me when I'm out and about, and they wish that we could speak louder.
We talked about that, a microphone.
Well, either that or just, you know, trying to elevate our voices a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
No. Anything else?
Anything else? We're gonna go into executive session and discuss legal and personnel issues.